Welcome everyone to the second show. We've got news and things coming up. Enjoy.
Mini Matters, a miniature and painting podcast.
What do you think of that? It's all right, wasn't it?
It's very good, Jamie. Well done. You're
Spiffing
getting
interview.
better each week.
Let's practice. Second week. Imagine what I'll be like on the third. So thank you everyone for sticking with us after that intro and welcome message. We do obviously have the week's news coming up, and there's some good things Lionel and I haven't spoken about. I'm quite looking forward to it. So let's get stuck in. Any words before we view the images, Lionel?
No, just that there's a lot to get through this week. There's been quite a lot on the news front.
So less chit chat from me. I understand. Here we go. There we go. Wrong one. There you go. This is all you.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the new release from Ignis Art, and they've just released this new bust called Will Kolak. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but that's my best go at it. And it's basically part of their extended fantasy range. They've been doing a number of fantasy female-centric busts over the last year or so. Last year, you may recall, they did Lisa, which was a very popular bust. It was the female mage with the deer antlers, and quite a lot of painters painted that up. It sparked a lot of imagination, and this is their latest release. This is based on Slavic mythology. So what you've got there is obviously a female huntress or a mage in a wolf garb, I suppose. It's worth noting that this box art has been done by Michael Pasarski, better known to most as Lan.
I was gonna say, can I just hazard a guess on who did it?
Oh, sorry.
And I don't know if it is, but I was gonna guess Lan.
Yeah, I mean, once again, it's got Lan's signature use of rendering of female skin, subtle OSL. So yeah, you wouldn't have got 4 points for guessing that anyway, because I think that was a fairly easy guess.
Some people don't get it. Also, I didn't know his name was. Well, I've heard it, but you went with his real name rather than his alias.
Yeah, so yeah, Michael Pasarski, but he's better known to most as Land Studio. This is live now, so it's available to order, and I think a lot of painters will be picking it up because this range is very popular, particularly amongst the pro painters on the circuit.
I find it intimidating because I can't do skin. So next, it gets worse for me, to be honest. I actually know about this one. You know.
Do you want to take it? Do you want to go?
Go on then. I can't give more. You can give the real stuff, Lionel. But this is by David's new company, David Arroba. And this is his anatomical, I guess, or whatever the word is that they're using. And it's the first in his range. I believe somebody did the sculpt. Daniel Iceberg.
You got an advantage on me if you know the sculptor.
I think, okay, yeah. Or it's Victor, but I think it's Daniel. Yeah, and I'm actually going to paint this, believe that or not. I know that's not on topic, but I know we're doing a lot of them. So now, Lionel, please take over.
Well, I mean, I can't add much more than that. So this is a new release by Alcala Models, which, as you've hinted at, is a company which David Arroba is involved in, as well as his partner. This is their second release. Their first release was the Black Moth, which once again proved very popular. However, this is the first release in what is going to be a new academic line or a signature line for David Arroba. And yeah, I always default to calling them academic busts, but I know the Spanish painters call them anatomic busts, but essentially they're the same thing. What you've got is a great bust where you can essentially put your own style and idea on that and impose it. There's been a lot of people on social media saying it would make a great Crow or it would make a great John Wick. So I think it's got that versatility for you to attempt different ideas, attempt skin as you would do normally, and the box art is on its way soon as well from David Arroba. So it'd be interesting to see what he does with that, particularly after what he did with the first release, the Black Moth. That was released this week, and that is available to order from their store as well. Jamie, I think you're going to be putting links, aren't you, to the relevant social
Big time
media in the
links.
description?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so look at the description below, and there should be hyperlinks to where you can buy this.
I have to say, Lionel, off topic, I'm impressed by your knowledge. I'm glad that we do the show together, and I don't have to. Well, in fact, you saw what happened when we don't do it together. This is obviously Games Workshop. It's probably a new box set they're releasing. Probably, if I had to guess, Space Marines versus Necron. And by the box set floor, I'm going to assume it's in a tomb.
Very, yeah. You pretty much hit it on the nail on the head there. So what you've got here is something called Pariah Nexus, which is effectively the new box game for Kill Team, which is being released this weekend. So once again, it's an all-encompassing box. It's designed that you can pick it up with somebody else, and you've got all the components in there for you and another player to start playing. What's nice, as you said, it's inside what appears to be a Necron tomb, and you've got some scenery and doorways and whatnot, which give that kind of Space Crusade-esque feel. However, what people will probably be excited about in this is you've got exclusive models at the moment. So the Space Marines there are actually heavy intercessors, which are a new release. So they're a cross between the intercessor armor as we know it at the moment and the Gravis armor, which was released as a heavy alternative, and they've meshed the two together to give you both durability and maneuverability. And then you've also got the flayed ones in there, which, although they've been available before, these are actually new sculpts, and the ones that were available before were fine cast. So these are completely new sculpts produced in plastic, and then you've got two new commanders there as well. I believe you've got some more close-up images as well, haven't you, off both, Jamie?
Oh, very, very well leads into us. I have to say, I didn't realise they'd had this second or this heavy armour. But it's good that they're, as in Games Workshop, are progressing the storyline, the models. I mean, Space Marines now should be good enough just to kill everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're not really a gaming cast or a meta cast. We're more for obviously a modelling and painting cast. That being said, I do know that these are, I believe, are toughness 5 with 3 wounds. Now,
That's outrageous.
Even people
I
who
suppose
don't
they'll
game
cost
that
more
much
points.
even people who don't game much like you and I know that's very strong. I don't think we've seen a Space Marine with 3 points, but I suppose this is the Primaris's answer to Terminator armor. Going back to the sculpts, though, I actually really like the aesthetic. I do like the Primaris Marines. I know it's a bit of a joke between the two of us in terms of our stance. Your stance with Primaris and the old sculpts, and my stance with Primaris, but I actually really like these. I think they've got a nice silhouette, a nice presence, and I am tempted to pick one up to have a go. It's worth noting that although these sculpts are exclusive to this box at the moment, they are being released somewhere down the line later on as a separate box set. So if you just want the models, exactly. So it's that incentive to make you buy it early and invest earlier. If not, if you're a bit more patient, then you can wait and they'll be available down the line.
He's got an arm, that bloke. He's literally got an arm. Bottom left.
Yeah,
have they woken up like mid-merge or something, like when they were still physical bodies?
No, the old flayed ones, for some reason, used to wear skin. So I used to think it was a bit like the Terminator films where they were trying to disguise themselves, but not very effectively. But I don't know much about the lore, but I think they're
Oh yeah, okay.
I think they're damaged in some way, whereby they wear it as a trophy as opposed to any kind of covert.
Yeah.
But for me, these sculpts are
slightly, basically.
Yeah, for me, these sculpts are slightly less attractive because they just blur into one. They don't seem to have much distinction between the features. So for me, the Space
maybe
if
you're a Necron fan, they're like hitting some sweet spot that Necron fans have wanted for, I don't know, years. It's a big close-up image, that, isn't it?
So this is the commander that comes with the Space Marines. So you'll get the 5 heavy intercessors, and then you'll get this guy in there as well. And I think he's a very nice sculpt, actually.
Yeah. I don't hate him. It just looks like every other Space Marine.
And then this is the commander option for the Necrons, which appears to be some kind of Sorcerer Psyker. And once again, we apologise to those watching. We're not a gaming or a kind of metacast or a lore cast. So if we're making some big faux pas in terms of no, that's
Just let us
clearly
know.
some kind of character, let us know in the comments, and we apologise. We're just here commenting on the sculpts and whether we think they would make good painting pieces.
3 quick things. I really do like the magical ball. That's probably one of those spheres that's opening up. That's cool. He looks like one of the Matrix things from Matrix 2, the Sentinels. And his face actually looks like something out of a Disney film or Pixar film with Hotel Transylvania. So that's my quick synopsis there for you.
Okay. So this is a new release for this weekend as well. Not a new release, but a reboxing. So before a starter set of 40k that came out, I was about to say early this year, but it's all blurring into one. It was early 2020. And I believe it was called Indominus. I'm pretty sure it was. They have some exclusive sculpts in there. What they've done now is those character sculpts are now available separately, so you can pick those up this weekend without having to buy the big box with both armies in the rule book and whatnot. If you only want those to paint, and they've done the same for the Necrons.
War of the Worlds there, and a little bit of the guy. Do you remember the Judge Dredd film? And you had that big
ABC robot.
that looks, yeah. Okay, nice. Here we go.
Okay, so this is a new Kickstarter which launched today at the time of recording. I don't know when this cast is
funded
going
already.
out. Funded already, doing very well already. So this is a Kickstarter by Mindworks Games, which are an Italian company. And what they've done is they've produced, I believe, 6 sculpts based on Patrick J. Jones's work, oil paintings. Now, you may remember late last year, I'm trying to... Terrible Kid Stuff. My mind went blank then. Terrible Kid Stuff launched a popular sculpt called The Captive, which was painted by Mark Masklands. And I think the internet went on fire when those images came out. It was the one with the pirate holding the maiden or the mermaid.
We covered it in our video with him.
Yeah. So that obviously proved popular. This separate company, which aren't attached to them, as far as I'm aware, Mindworks Games, have now released 6 more sculpts through this. Once again, based on Patrick Jones's artwork. And they've got some good artists doing the box arts. They've got Fabrizio Russo, who is an Italian artist who's doing one of the box arts. And in fact, he has started painting it this week using exclusively oil paints or oil paints over acrylic in order to replicate the oil painting effect that the original artist has done on his canvas work. So that will be interesting, and there will be videos on how to do that. Yeah. Once again, like you said, it's well funded. It only launched today. At the time of recording, it's at 41k. And for me, my money is on this Kickstarter being the first big one of the year. We had about 3 or 4 big ones last year, which did some big numbers. I'm fully expecting this one to do some big numbers. And what's interesting as well, it's only live for 16 more days. So I think they're fairly confident that they're going to make the money in a short space of time, because I think most Kickstarters usually run for at least 4 weeks, don't they, to maximize that window. Yeah. So you're flicking through the sculpts here. It's worth noting that a couple of them are Kickstarter exclusive. So if you don't back the Kickstarter and opt for them, although the rest,
do you know which ones, or probably not, right? Just I suppose check the link out.
Well, I know one of them. So there's one with a boar or a large bear, not that one. That one's a Kickstarter exclusive, so that won't be available at retail. And there is another one, and that one I'm not too sure which one it is, but there's 2 that are Kickstarter exclusive.
So these are the only ones that I could pull down photo-wise. So I think obviously it's definitely worth checking out the link if you're interested in this style, because it is very stylized. It's very classical. The sculpts are they are simply like stunning.
They are,
for that.
and they're a very accurate interpretation of the original work. So if you look at the original canvas work, you'll see that much like the captive is like an exact replica. I'm probably going to be going in on this purely because of the stylization and because of the opportunity to explore painting skin tones, explore
Scary.
anatomy, muscle, lighting. I think they're very nice sculpts. I think I will at least go in on one.
That's good. So you can
try to
buy
like one of
individuals
those.
and then obviously buy the set, etc.
Yeah, and they've got a reasonably good offer whereby if you buy all, I believe it's all six, you save about €200, €250.
Wow.
There is a big saving if you want to have all of them. And it's worth noting as well is they've also got exclusive art books as well, which are being released. Patrick Jones's art book. So there's one which is basically a book of a collection of his artwork, which is just nice to have as a coffee table piece. And then there's two more books by him taking you through the steps of painting an oil painting canvas. So that's useful. And then they've got exclusive artwork in terms of prints and pictures and whatnot. So there's a lot of extra stuff over and above the sculpts and models if you're interested.
I'm absolutely going to have to check out who the sculptors were or sculptor. Very interesting to see. Yeah. I also like the renders a lot.
Any temptation for you, or?
Personally, no. It's too well. It's just not elves. Basically, it's too classical, and I don't like classical.
I think that's what draws me to it. It feels like Roman sculpture, or the sort of marble pieces you'd see. And in terms of the proportions and the way it's been sculpted, I really like it.
From a like a model perspective, it's breathtaking. It's like fantastic, especially now I know how hard sculpting is. Like I think before I got into the whole role of doing sculpts, I was like, oh, that's all right, that's fine. And now I'm like, man alive, like to get the anatomy right is one thing, and then all the cloaks and cloth and even the snake. I was looking at that and thinking how good that does look.
I think most people say, don't they? If you're a sculptor, you can have a fair go at painting and put it off. If you're a good painter, it doesn't translate the other way. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be able to sculpt. It's a completely different art, isn't it?
It's fascinatingly different, and it's amazing. It really is. Right. I think, unless Lana, you have any final things that you would like to put onto the people who are watching.
No, although I said there was a lot of news, we actually went through that fairly quickly. So,
but it's currently it's our longest show we've ever recorded. Of the news. So, out of two, this is the longer episode. If you want to see us cover that in more detail, I'm sure people wouldn't want a dedicated episode, but you can let us know, and we'll leave all the links and everything like that in the description. If we've missed any call outs or names, then we are sorry, and we'll cover in the links down below. And obviously, if you enjoyed the show, we will be doing one next week, hopefully the week after that, and the week after that. See you later, guys.